Today, many Catholics still believe in the power of holy relics.
I like it. It's mine. The prices blow my mind. I feel so rich. I feel like a billionaire.
Berlin, early July 1945. Since the end of the Housing Hitler's central power, the Soviet authorities have determined the future of the city. 2 months after the end of the war, the British and Americans were allowed to move into their occupied sectors. A camera of Hollywood director George Stevens ventures into the Soviet-occupied part of the city at the Brandenburg Gate. As Paris advanced, the men first came the badly damaged Hotel Adlon. Before the war, one of the most fashionable roads in Berlin, it was infantry was against the battle with the cavalry. Pushing after his surrender, the buildings were carved and was just around the corner,
just as he's used to doing in the dream.
This arrangement highlights the basic chronology of my experiences.
Nothing has been there with his customers. It has done but Allied ministers are not allowed to enter Berlin until July to document the lives of the defeated after 12 years of Nazi rule and 6 years of
It is the recommended according sections to research and understanding
isolated,
documents. If you qualify, enter reach out with a game plan, same day and for free. Wouldn't it be helpful to have an extra $10,000 or even $100,000 in your life right now? Don't you deserve to have some breathing room and security after all the hardships you've experienced? How would it feel to not worry about paying bills, rent, or living expenses for a few months? If you were not at fault, you don't deserve to be punished, even if you're not a driver in the accident.
Are you? And he's aware that this is a moment in history in which he's going to be able to make his mark in Islam.
You've been supporting her all this time? I suppose you're wondering how. So is she. She's getting to be a big girl now, Father. She's beginning to think I'm no good in school. I want to put her in your care before she finds out she's right. Dad, you can't leave now. I'm on.
Rations, the best of are heavy workers and workers in unhealthy factories. There's also cultural and religious activities. Beggars are categories of white collar workers, rubber, children. Those who do not work only receive ration card, fine employed, moral working, applications, and the rest of the population. In the country, it is called
Captain Carter's real job was to document the process of the Catholics. On this 9th of July, he's particularly interested in historic things that tie the special role of the rise and fall of Adolf Hitler. The Kaiserhof Hotel on Wilhelmsplatz was the first luxury hotel in Imperial Berlin. In the 1920s, they operated their sympathized with right-wing nationalist circles. From 1932, Hitler asked the speaking of this hotel when he visited Berlin. From his suite, he planned to take the picture. The 30th of January 1933, he traveled from here to President Hindenburg, who appointed him Reich Chancellor.
The burning from a watchtower. They say that the charred remains of Hitler and his wife Eva were then buried in a bomb crater. But what happened to the bodies? As early as the 5th of May 1945, Soviet Secret Service agents found the grave. Within a short time, Hitler could be identified by his teeth. Joseph Stalin was informed, but the Kremlin ruler keeps the news to himself because he wants to keep his Western allies in the dark.
With heavy losses, the Red Army has captured Hitler's power center. On On this 9th of July 1945, another US Air Force cameraman meticulously documents the bullet holes in Albert Speer's monumental architecture, which for 6 years symbolized the German delusion of invincibility. The Red Army put a bloody end to this hubris.
Throughout conquered Berlin, the Soviet victors put up posters with mottos by Joseph Stalin.
The strength of the Red Army consists in the fact that it does not and cannot harbor racial hatred against other peoples, not even against the Germans, as it is educated in the spirit of equality of all peoples and races, in the spirit of respect for the rights of other peoples. Such words are sheer mockery, even for opponents of the Nazis, in view of looting and countless rapes in the first weeks after the surrender. Journalist Ruth